Oh yeah, what's going on, fam? It's your man VACAY-J, and yes, I'm back with another video. This is for Tyler Perry's Ruthless, episode 19, the recap. And yeah, we're seeing the end of the Mac, and we see Joans' true colors. We're gonna break it down. So the name of this episode is The Ticking Clock, and it reads, Aaron's sudden appearance at the sheriff's office has immediate repercussions. Ruth warns the other women that Joan is not to be trusted, and Daikon makes a surprising discovery. Let's get into it, fam. So where did we leave off? We left off with Aaron walking into the sheriff's office, looking dead at the sheriff and at Mac. And Kyle is trying to calm him down. Desiree's looking at them, real sus, like, yeah, what's going on with this? So Aaron walks in with his eyes locked in on Mac and the sheriff. And they're looking at him like, oh, shoot, what is he going to say? What's going to happen? And yes, Kyle is like, what's going on? He's ready, rock steady. He got a strap ready. And Aaron is like, yeah, you need to arrest these guys. And you need to arrest him. It's like him. So they point the camera at the sheriff, right? So she's thinking, okay, sheriff, you know, what is this about, right? She's looking at the sheriff, and you need to arrest him because he tried to take me out. And Aaron is looking directly at Mac, and they're like, all right, put the handcuffs on him. And they keep saying him, but they're not saying anybody specifically. So yeah, your boy Aaron is yelling like, yeah, he put me in the trunk and he took out the deputy Kate. He's like, what? Kyle is looking at him like, what? What is going on? And then Mac is like, yeah, this guy is high. Yeah. And they're like, yo, put the cuffs on Mac. He's like, nah, you try to take me out. Don't act like I'm crazy. I'm not high. You're crazy. And yeah, Mac is just going back and forth, yelling at Aaron like, yo, this kid is out of his mind. He's like, son, it's not me. And Aaron is like, no. You tried to leave me in the trunk and everything else like that. And you was on the phone. So Mac takes out his strap and they're like, put it down, Mac. Put it down, Mac, right? And yeah, Desiree is getting real tense, right? Put it down, Mac. Put it down. Don't do it, Mac. Don't do it, right? Don't do this. Like, just put it down. We're going to talk about this. Cal is trying to calm things down. And Mac puts the strap to his chin. And they are like, don't do it, Mac. And Mac is about, what is he about to do? Mac, oh my God, what are you going to do? And he, pow, takes himself out. Wow. I am surprised. We're all surprised. You know, Desiree is like, no, right? Mac took himself out. Crazy, right? He got caught red-handed. They're looking at him like, no. Desiree's about to go over. Kyle is like, no, wait. He checks his pulse. Your boy is gone. Wow. Took himself out. Everybody's surprised. We are all surprised. Like, what is going on? Wow, man, this is insane. Of course, Desiree, she's disappointed because, again, for him to do all of this, yeah, he was down with the Raku, and Aaron called him out and caused all this to happen. But, you know, they're like, it's not your fault. And he's like, I know it's not my fault. But yes, Desiree at this point doesn't really know. Like, she's bewildered and she's like shook and all of this and that. And they're like, yeah, take him outside. Take him outside. Give him some fresh air. And the sheriff was like, yeah, I'll take him outside. He's like, no, not him. He's in on it too. And he's like, what? The sheriff was like, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, he's in on it too. He told Mac to take me to this, you know, area, you know, where they do hunting and all of this and that, blah, 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 right? So again, Desiree's like, whoa. Like, she is surprised. But again, I believe they kind of knew, but they just didn't really know specifically. Aaron is definitely bringing in all the proof, right? So they take the sheriff. Kyle takes the sheriff to go lock him up. And now it's like, all right, let's go outside and get some air, because Aaron's like, we got to go get my wife. She's like, let's step outside. Let's get some air. So now back on the Raku canvas, we finally got this safe. Daikon and the Highest is like, oh, yeah, this is a nice safe and all of this and that. Yeah, this is great. So the Highest is happy because he's like, yeah, we can finally put the money in there. and don't really have to worry about it. But Daikon is looking for the instructions. And he's like, I can't find the instructions. So he's like, are you sure? Like, really? Like, you know, because the highest was all pleased with Daikon, right? He finally did what he was supposed to do. And yeah, Daikon is looking around, can't find the instructions. Now, we already know from the last episode that scumbag Manny took the instructions so they won't lock anything up. So they bring in the guy that went to go purchase the safe. He's like, hey, where are the instructions? And he's like, well, we brought it in as is, you know, whatever's in there is supposed to be in there. He's like, you sure? You sure? And Daikon is getting real mad, real frustrated. He's like, you know what? It's okay. Just let him go. Let him go. So again, Daikon is just real upset. He's like, listen, don't worry about it. Just go on the computer, get the instructions, and then we can have what we need to have, right? And the hot spot is in the office, the accounting office where Joan is. He's like, make sure you send River. So Daikon goes out, talks to scumbag Manny, and Manny's like, what? The instruction is gone? I can't believe it. Meanwhile, he has it in his back pocket. He's like, yo, go find River. So here we are, Desiree and Aaron outside the sheriff's office. She's standing there, always with her hands on her hip. Yeah, tell me what you know. Tell me what you know. He's like, we need to go in there right now. And she's like, we can't. He's like, why? He said, we need a warrant. He's like, you don't need a warrant. We need to just go in there. He's like, listen, do they have a lot of straps in there? And he's like, yeah, they got a lot. She's like, well, if we go in there now, it's not going to look good because they may try to take your wife out. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. You know, he's so emotional, so riled up with all of this that's happening. He's not really thinking clear. But Desiree's like, listen, we'll wait for the warrant, then we'll go. So here we go. Daikon and Joan. He's walking in there to get the, you know, the hot spot from the safe. And she's like, yes, how you doing, Daikon? Talking all soft and sweet, right? And he's like, yes, they're both talking real soft and sweet. Yeah, I need to get the hot spot, right? And she's like, oh, the hot spot? He thinks she's talking about, you know, like her, you know, little cootie, right? He's like, no, we need a hot spot to get on the internet. She's like, oh, the highest has the combination and the key. Should I go get it? And he's like, no, you know, do what you need to do. I'll go get it. So we feel this sexual tension go back and forth. We'll get back to that. Now, the boy River's locked up in the punishment trailer. He sees Lewis. Lewis, let me out. Let me out. So Lewis lets River out of the punishment trailer. And he's like, what happened? Oh, they got away. And Lewis is like, dang, what you mean they got away? Like, yeah, they got away. Peter got away too? Yeah, he got away too. He's like, dang. He's like, yeah, we need to go get him right now. We need to tell the highest. And Lewis is like, no, don't tell the highest. You go get dressed, act like nothing happened. He's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, man, just act like nothing happened. He's like, why? He's like, he's not telling them that there's a plan in place, right? Because he doesn't know that River knows a little bit about the plan. But he's like, listen, you go get dressed, act like nothing happened. We're going to work it out. We'll find them. Don't worry about it. So Lewis, again, is just like Ruth. Don't want to mess up the plan that's in place to stick up the highs. So Lewis rolls up on Ruth like, yo, I just released River from the punishment trailer. He told me that the prisoners got away. And she's like, I know. He's like, why don't you, tell us? She's like, listen, by the time he gets to, the sheriff's office or whatever, we'll already be gone. So it's going down tonight. He's like, you sure? He's like, what about the children? She's like, I know where the children are. I just got to get an address, but I'll have the address by the night. Once I get the address, then we could do what we got to do, stick up the highest, get the money, and we can all get out of here together. As long as I got the address, I can get her after. So he's like, all right, bet. So Joan rolls over. No, this is not good. And she's like, what? What's going on, Joan? Well, promise me you won't get mad. And she's like, what is happening? Talk to me. Well, Daikon came for the hot spot because he wants to see who's on the accounts. And she's like, so? Like, that shouldn't matter. She's like, well, there's 6 accounts with 300,000 in them and everything else like that. And she's like, so what? You're going to be fine. And she's like, well, there's one account that I had to put my name on, And that account has, she's like, tell me what it is. Tell me how much it is. Has $1 million in it. She's like, you freaking bitch. I knew I couldn't trust your monkey ass. So Ruth is getting mad because she's like, oh, so you was going to take that money and the money from the campus? She's like, well, I'll split it with you. I'll split it with you. I was like, I don't trust your ass. I don't trust you, Joan. I knew it. She's like, well, you need to help me. You need to help me. Well, how can I freaking help you? You can go F him like you always do and make him feel like you effing really care, right? And she's like, what? Oh, I couldn't trust your ass. And Joan is like, you know what? You don't want to help me? It's on, Ruth. It's on. And she walks away, and Ruth is like, you better walk away. You better walk away because I was going to beat your ass. So now we can't even trust Joan because Joan is going to snitch and may tell the highest that she doesn't have a baby. This is crazy. So Cal walks in the sheriff, right, with the handcuffs, puts him in jail, puts him in the prison with Andrew. Andrew's like, yo, what the hell is going on here, right? He doesn't know. And, you know, he put the sheriff in there and, you know, Andrew's like, yo, what was that sound? And Cal's like, come on, man, you know what a strap sounds like. You know what it sounds like when it pops off. He's like, yeah, I do. He's like, what happened? It's your boss. What you mean it's my boss? Yeah, your boss took himself out with the strap. He's like, what? What? Who, Mac? Yeah, he took himself out. Why would he do that? Why don't you ask the sheriff? And the sheriff is just shaking his head, put his head down. He's like, what? And Andrew's like, oh my God, this is crazy. I can't believe it. He's like, yeah, you know, he got caught red-handed. So you already know, right? You know he's caught red-handed. And he's like, yeah, you got a good surprised look on your face, Andrew. And Cal is just like, man, you know what? I'm going to lock this up. Ask the sheriff what's going on. You know, he may tell you. So Andrew is just like, whoa, what is going on? He's like, yeah, man, you know, Mac just popped himself. You know, I don't know why. He just did it. He just popped himself and that was it. He's like, oh, my God, this is crazy. He's like, you know, I don't know why he did it. And then Andrew's like, yeah, well, I'm glad they got your dirty ass, right? And he's like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, you know, your name rings bells on the campus. We know you was with those little girls and all this and that, right? And the sheriff goes, well, yeah, your name rings bells too. He said, for what? And Andrew's like, for what? He's like, yeah, you know, the highest was doing you up the corn dog, right? Up the cornhole. And he's like, that's not true. That's not true. He's like, well, a picture says 1,000 words. And Andrew's like, those pictures aren't real, man. And they both just like, dang, man, they down in the dumps because they know they ain't getting out. And it's just not looking good for Andrew and the sheriff right now because they still suspect Andrew based off of the video. And of course, now the sheriff is locked up. So they both are kind of like, dang, we are definitely in a bad position. But they don't know what to do. How are they going to get out? Who's going to get them out at this point? Doesn't look good for Andrew. Doesn't look good for the sheriff. So now, back at the pavilion, River rolls up on Ruth. Yo, listen, man, they got away. And da-da-da-da. And Ruth was like, yeah, I already know. He's like, what? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Listen, we're going to go through with the plan. I know exactly where the children are. They're at this hotel. He's like, what? You do? He's like, do you have an address? No, I'm going to get the address tonight, but it's still on. Go get ready. Don't worry about it. The plan is still in place. So he does know about the plan, but here comes Scumbag Manny. River, where you been? I've been looking for you. Oh, I was sleeping. Well, come on, man. You know, the highest wants you right now. Let's go. Okay. So he takes River to go see the highest. The plan is still on, more so now than ever. Time is running out. Can't trust Joan. So here we are. Daikon, the highest, is still, you know, he gives him the key. He gives him the key to the safe and gives him the codes 5, 6, 7, 8 or something like that, right? So he's like, listen, just go online, get the instructions so we can really put the money in here, keep it safe. Here comes River. River, where have you been? I've been looking for you. Oh, you're going to get mad at me? I was sleeping. He's like, hey, there's no sleeping around here. Why can't River sleep? That's the question. Why can't he sleep? I'm questioning that. So he's like, hey, listen, I got something to show you. So he gets mad at him, but he shows River the actual hotel that, yeah, Raku Hotel, the Raku Resorts. And he's like, yeah, this is the hotel I plan on buying. This is where we're going to stay. This is going to be a new place. And he's like, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Yeah, this is wonderful. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to tell everybody tonight. So when I tell everybody, I want you to project the men onto the screen because I want to see their reaction. I want everybody to see the reaction. And he just wants to really hype this thing up so everybody on the campus is really excited about it. So he's like, oh, this is wonderful. You know, River, he'll play the role. This is great. This is wonderful. I can't wait. You know, so he knew about it from Ruth. But now your boy, the highest, really is telling and is excited about this whole Raku Hotel thing. So here we are. The two lovebirds are back again, right? So Jonas like, yes, Tycon. He puts in the key, puts in the combination. And before he puts in the combination, he's like, Joan, is there something you want to tell me? And she's like, yes, I do. Yes. And he's like, you were upset, right? He's like, first off, are you attracted to me? And she's like, Your Highness, I'm just a woman. I'm just a woman. But he's like, just tell me, are you attracted? She's like, yes. She's like, finally being able to tell him that she really likes him. He's like, well, that's why you was upset. He's like, yes, because I'm loyal, but I really, really like you. And man, look at her face. She looks like she is ready for Daikon to pounce all over her. And he's like, well, you know, I belong to the highest. She's like, but if you tell him that you like me, then, you know, maybe, you know, we can be together and stuff like that. He's like, listen, I don't like you like that, though. It's like, damn, he just like broke her little heart because she thought she was going to get some. He grabs the hot spot and he walks out the door. And your girl's like, rejected, Joan. You're rejected. Yeah, that's what you get for being sneaky and conniving. You ain't going to get none for no Daikon. No time soon. No time ever. Joan, you're going to stay dry. Anyway, the ladies are chopping up whatever food, you know, they need. And here comes Ruth. Ruth is like, listen, things are about to go down. You know, we're going to be saved because, yes, Aaron got away and all of this and that. So they're going to send some people. They're going to send some people for us. And she's like, are you sure? It's like, yeah. They're going to send them because, you know, you're here, right? Because they was all worried, well, they're going to come in guns blazing. It's like, nah, they're not going to do that because Laura's there. And yeah, because Laura's there, Aaron is not going to allow them to come in guns blazing, even though he was ready to do that and tell Desiree, yo, go in there and get my wife. So she's like, listen, you can't trust Joan, can't trust River. We got to stick together. So she's rounding up her team and saying, listen, we got to watch each other's back. We got to be, you know, looking out. We got to be on high alert because there's things about to go down. It's about to go down, and we got to stick together, and we're all going to get out of here together. You know, Zane did question, say, you was going to leave without me? She's like, I'll never leave without you. So they say they trust her. Here comes Elda Madamava. And she's like, you girls, you go and get the things ready for tonight. And she's questioning Lacey why she doesn't have her chains on. She needs to take her to the outhouse and all of this and that. But yes, it's about to be on and popping as soon as tonight happens at the pavilion. Now, here comes Laura. Laura hobbles in there. And Elder Mother's like, why are you walking like that? What is wrong with you? Oh, I'm a little sore, you know. And she's like, what happened? She's like, nothing. She's like, tell me what happened. She's like, well, I got beat. You got beat by who? I got beat by Ruth. She's like, why would she beat you? What is wrong? She's like, well, I was upset. And here's Zane and Laura listening in, right? I was upset. She's like, why was you upset? Because I saw her talking to one of the men. And why would you be upset because she was talking to one of the men? Because he likes me, right? Laura's just snitching. And she's like, well, tell me why. Why were you upset? She's like, well, I'm only going to tell the highest. I'm only going to tell the highest. And she's like, what? What? You're only going to, who do you think you are, right? And Elder Mother whoop, slaps her, right? She's like, tell me now. She's like, well, you know, Ruth was talking to the man. Who's the man? Lewis. She is snitching on Ruth and Lewis to Elder Mother. Oh my God. She's like, well, what's going on? What are they talking about? I don't know, but I can only tell the highest. So Zane runs in there like, she's lying, Elder Mother. She's lying. She's lying. She's like, I'm not lying. I saw her. She is jealous of Ruth. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Right? She's like, yeah, I saw her. She's like, you willing to put your tongue up for it? And she's like, yeah. So Zane goes to Elder Mother, can I cut out her tongue? And Elder Mother's like, no, no, no. She needs to talk. She needs to talk to the highest, right? So then she's like, yeah. You're lying. You're lying, and we know it. And Elder Mother's like, you know what? We're going to take you to the highest. And then here comes Laura. And Laura's like, she is lying. She's like, how do you know? Because I did see her, talking to the men, and she is jealous. And she says she wants to be the wife to be to the highest. She's like, I never said that. I never said that. This is going back and forth. Bridget is snitching, and they go back and forth. She's like, well, we're going to see what the highest has to say about that. Let's go, Bridget. So they leave. And yeah, they looking at her like, you mother freaking snitch, boy. Yeah, it's about to go down. Bridget about to get it. And Zane and them are like, yo, this is not good. If they're going to the highest with this crazy information. And Laura's like, I know, this is crazy. This is crazy. I need to tell Ruth what's going on. So yeah, she's going to tell Ruth. Here we are. And your boy Daikon goes to the punishment trailer and nobody's in there. He's like, what the hell? That's right. Malcolm is gone. Peter is gone. He is enraged. Like, what the hell? Oh my God, look at his face. Daikon is pissed off, family. What is going to happen next? What is he going to do? How's he going to explain this to the highest? Because the highest told him to get Malcolm, right? We shall see in the next episode of Tyler Perry's Ruthless.